From the North Country's news station, 7 News Tonight starts now.
Coming up tonight on 7 News, community members in 3 Mile Bay are concerned as they ask if this property is home to a puppy mill. Plus, the latest details after a crash between a pickup and an Amish buggy results in serious injuries and multiple helicopters called for assistance. And Anthony DeBella is sentenced in Jefferson County Court. We learn how long he'll be locked up for after being convicted for the murder of his sister. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zach Grady. Garrett Domblewski is off this evening. We begin tonight with our continuing coverage of the proposed program cuts at SUNY Potsdam. The village of Potsdam is standing beside the college as classes and jobs are potentially set to be slashed from the SUNY campus. Dr. Susan Smith announced on Tuesday 14 more programs are being recommended for proposed cuts to the curriculum. The college is looking to address a $9 million structural deficit. The financial hardships come at the same time as admissions at the college are down by more than 40%. Village officials say they will continue to support the school and stress its importance to the North Country.
We want SUNY Potsdam to know that the board, the administration, and the staff, we always have and we will continue to stand strong at the side of our SUNY Potsdam. We will continue to push in Albany for them to make sure that all state offices understand the importance of SUNY Potsdam, not just to Northern New York, but to the state and beyond as well. Our hearts go out to all of those people affected by that decision. And, we hope that soon we'll see a SUNY Potsdam that's vibrant and strong and successful once again.
SUNY Chancellor John King in attendance on Tuesday for the announcement. He says he supports President Smith as well as the future of the college at Potsdam. A portion of County Route 2 in the town of Alexandria remains closed this evening after a serious crash this afternoon between a pickup truck and an Amish buggy. Jefferson County Sheriff Peter Barnett says 2 adults and 4 children were in the buggy with a lone driver in the pickup truck. The crash happened just before 2:30 Wednesday afternoon on County Route 2 in the town of Alexandria. That road, portions of that road, remain closed between Williams Road and Bailey Settlement Road. There are reports of serious injuries occurring. At least 2 helicopters were called to the scene to assist in transporting victims to the hospital. We will continue to update you on this story as more information is released. Anthony DeBella may spend the rest of his life in prison after being sentenced Wednesday in Jefferson County Court. The 53-year-old Town of Line man murdered his sister in April of last year, claiming she was a witch. DeBella repeatedly stabbed his sister, 67-year-old Wanda Paoli, at the Point Peninsula home they shared with their elderly mother. According to court documents, DeBella told police he killed his sister because she was, quote, getting in the way of communicating to God. He added that he, quote, was done with her witchcraft. DeBella was charged with second-degree murder. He pled guilty in July to the murder charge. The condition of a 3 Mile Bay property has community members and its owner concerned. Their worries, not just the outside of the house, but whether or not a puppy mill is being run inside of it. 7 News reporter Chad Charette spoke with both officials and the property's owner to find out.
I'm very frustrated with the way the county has tried to deal with this issue. There's a total lack of enthusiasm on most everyone's part when something like this happens.
Kelly Filkins leases the property he owns in 3 Mile Bay. During what he says was a court-permitted inspection of the property, he captured this video of numerous dogs in cages. He, along with local animal activists, say they question if the property is being used as a puppy mill.
Puppy mills are, they just should not ever be allowed anywhere.
I just couldn't believe the condition these dogs were in and that nothing was done for at least a year.
For the last several years, Filkins has rented the property to Cheryl Jones. A sign that has since been removed from the driveway advertised puppies for sale, and this business card lists Jones' name along with that of Ken O'Neill. We're told that the Town of Lyme's dog control officer has made 17 visits to the location.
There was 40 dogs that were registered, but they were in cages within the house, but there was also some that were kept in a camper out in the yard. And the number of puppies, we never really sure of how many of those were there.
Although dog enforcement didn't turn up evidence of any illegal activity, an independent inspection ordered by Kelly Filkins did cause code enforcement to condemn the property for occupancy, citing a number of issues, including a contaminated water supply.
There was no running water, no heat. There were conditions inside the house that were extremely hazardous.
We attempted to speak to Cheryl Jones at the property, but she wouldn't comment and told us to leave. We tried to call Ken O'Neill, but his voicemail box was full. According to Filkins, a majority of the puppies were moved from the property to another county Wednesday night. Chad Charette, 7 News.
We'll head over to the Weather Center now. John Kubis. John, fall is just a couple of days away, and it seems like it's bringing some frosty weather along with it.
Yeah, kind of a chilly night outside and a cool start to the day tomorrow, Zach. All right, let's check those maps, and we can check on the current advisories. None in effect right now, but give it a couple of hours. And all the areas you see in the blue, Lewis County, southeastern St. Lawrence County, dealing with a frost advisory starting at 2 a.m., lasting until 8. All right, maps, satellite, and Doppler radar. Of course, first weather brought to you by Doors Plus and Adams Center. And notice high pressure and control and keeping it quiet tonight and sunny tomorrow. 43 at 6, some spots in the mid to upper 30s, and by noon, a whole lot of sun and temperatures in the mid to upper 60s. So warming up over the next couple of days. We'll talk temps in the weekend too in a bit. Let's send it back to you.
Thanks, John. The contents of a drafted document from the Watertown Golf Club purchase may make its way to the Attorney General's office. 7 News reporter Lexi Bruning tells us tonight that's what the city of Watertown Mayor Jeff Smith would like for it to do. And those in favor of the purchase are not worried.
Despite it being unsigned, Mayor Jeff Smith says these documents are troubling and deserve a second look by the Attorney General's office. The documents, a draft agreement between developers Mike Lundy and PJ Sameo. Under the deal, Sameo would get $1.7 million for a deed restriction on Ives Hill Country Club, more than the $850,000 previously disclosed. It also includes a non-compete agreement and settles any current or future litigation between Sameo and Lundy and the city. Another thing this document does, Smith says, is shows what the believed value is of the golf course and property. Smith says of the $3.4 million, if $1.7 went to Sameo, that leaves $1.7 for the property. And he again says the city paid too much.
I have concerns on a couple issues, whether a price was artificially inflated.
Smith also doesn't believe the deed restriction should have any value, pointing to the appraisal that was done on the park property in February, which states the deed restriction does not enhance the value of the course.
If anything, it could have had a negative value because you were giving a competitor money to open a golf course against you or fix up a golf course to operate against you.
Councilmember Lisa Ruggiero couldn't disagree more.
To say that it had no value, I have to disagree with the mayor on that. All you have to do is look at Ives Country Club golf course, and that sold for $2 million.
Councilmember Cliff Olney agrees with Mayor Smith that Golfgate should be looked into by the Attorney General's office, but believes it should go back to when the city was offering a cheap lease to the Watertown golf course when it was owned by shareholders.
I said the whole thing should be looked at and then sorted out, and then it could be explained to the public rather than bits and pieces where people don't understand.
Smith plans to ask the state to take a deeper look into the transaction in a couple weeks. Lexi Bruning, 7 News.
A late spring frost may be taking a bite out of this fall's apple crop. But one orchard in Rensselaer Falls has been fortunate. 7 News reporter Sean Brenda learned that in St. Lawrence County, apples are ripe and plenty for the picking.
At Applewood Orchards in Rensselaer Falls, co-owners Andrew and Alicia Bryce are ready for people to come to the farm to pick apples.
We do have a very good crop across all of our different apple varieties, and we started our U-Pick 2 weeks ago, so we were very fortunate that we were able to open up 2 U-Pick this year, as well as selling inside of our store.
The Bryces say they've been fortunate this year, with a majority of their crops still intact, while other orchards in New York State have suffered from the spring frost. The frost damages or destroys blossoms or deforms apples that are already growing.
If the bloom is killed, then the apple doesn't produce. The scarring affects the apple by its look, but not necessarily by its taste. So a lot of customers may not want an apple that's scarred, even though it's going to taste fine.
The Bryces say the lay of the land helped protect their crop, and and they'll yield 20,000 apples a day, an apple season that's better here than in other areas of New York State. Sean Brinda, 7 News.
A multi-million-dollar project in Sackett's Harbor has left some businesses feeling the economic effects of less foot traffic in the village this summer. Market Square Park is undergoing a $3.1 million makeover. The summer-long project has prevented boats from being able to dock at the park, as well as being able to launch. Chamber of Commerce President Scott Connett says foot traffic has been down an estimated 20 to 30% this year, with the docks being closed. Mayor Alex Morges says he believes that although it has been a down year for some, the village is excited for the possibilities 2024 may bring.
We're making good progress. The docks, some of the docks have been floated. The east boat ramp is in, or the steps and everything are up. They're working on the west boat ramp now. The bandstand here in the center of Market Square Park has had the roof replaced and all the patios in, so we're making good progress.
Borges says no official date is set at the moment for the park's reopening, but he would like to see it be ready for next April's solar eclipse. Still to come tonight, Mel Busler in the building. He takes us to the pool with the Indian River girls swim team for your North Country Sports Report. Plus, a new law introduced in Lewis County aims to help first responders with a lower bill on their property taxes when 7 News continues.
From the North Country's news station, you're watching 7 News Tonight with Garrett Domblewski. Tonight's weather with John Kubis. And your North Country sports with Mel Busler.
Wednesday's winning evening lotto numbers, the daily numbers 0, 3, 2, and the win 4, 7, 2, 2, 8. Tonight on Military Matters, Republicans in Washington are struggling to find common ground within their ranks. The GOP infighting is leaving a military spending bill unfunded. 5 conservative members of the party sided with Democrats to vote down a ruling on the defense appropriations bill. The $826 billion defense bill curtails transgender medical care as well as the Pentagon's current abortion policies. Democrats are against the bill, but the 5 Republicans that voted no did so to send a message to House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. That message: they are unhappy and won't vote for any funding bills until their demands are met. The Republican resistance comes as the House will need to vote at the end of the month on continuing to fund the government. A newly proposed law in Lewis County looks to lower property taxes for volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers. The legislation was introduced Tuesday during a County Finance and Rules Committee meeting. The law would allow volunteer firefighters and ambulance workers to receive a 10% property tax exemption. District 10 legislator and volunteer fire chief Jeff Nillenbach says it's another tool for the county to help its active volunteers, honorary members, and the spouses of a deceased member.
It probably helps people downstate more than in this local area where the tax levy is much higher for the county portion. But it's one of the tools that we feel we should offer.
There is a public hearing scheduled at 5 p.m. on November 7th to discuss the proposed legislation. And finally tonight, if you have any hazardous chemicals, pesticides, or paints that you are no longer using, Saturday is your chance to get rid of them properly. The Development Authority of the North Country, in partnership with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation, will be hosting a free hazardous waste collection day at the Human Resources Building in Canton. According to DANC's Director of Public Affairs, this event will help properly remove items that are difficult to throw away due to some products having hazardous effects on the environment.
This is an option. We bring in a special contractor that's licensed to handle hazardous chemicals, and they collect them properly, they handle them properly, and they make sure that they are disposed of in a properly accredited hazardous waste disposal facility.
Waste materials can be dropped off in Canton between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. Saturday. Another similar event will be held near Watertown on October 7th at the Jefferson County Highway Department. Both drop-offs are free of charge to the public for disposal. John Kubis is in the Weather Center with your full forecast after these messages.
Now, tonight's weather.
Quiet outside, bit cool out there as well. 50 degrees, clear skies, winds are calm. Pressure is high, has been holding steady. That bodes well for sunshine for the next couple of days. Got up to 64 for the high. Chilly start to the day, 38 the low. As far as the averages, yeah, we're off. Nothing record-setting, though, on that low end of things. All-time record 27, set back in 1993. 50 for you right now in Messina, upper 40s in Canton, 45 in Ogdensburg, and also in Lowville. 42 at Old Forge, 54 across the border in Kingston. Take note, really nothing going on outside right now. Mainly clear skies, a couple of passing clouds here or there. And because of that and those light winds, a bit cool outside. Because of that, the National Weather Service has issued a frost advisory in the blue, Lewis County, and also a decent chunk of the Adirondacks. Start time on that 2 a.m., lasting till 8 a.m. As we widen the view, a couple of showers north of Cleveland. Otherwise, high pressure located down towards the southern tier. And it's going to stick around for the next couple of days. Kind of what you see is what you get. And actually, it'll be a bit warmer tomorrow and a bit warmer still on Friday. All right, notice on the future cast overnight, maybe some patchy fog developing. Your lows in the 30s, in some locales anyways. By around 8:30, we're near 50, if not above it. And then during the afternoon, highs right around 70 degrees. A little bit cooler in some spots and a little bit milder in others. Your lows overnight in the 40s, lower 40s away from the lake in Philly and Carthage. A bit milder by Lake Ontario, 46 in Sackets, 45 in Clayton. During the day tomorrow, looking sunny and warmer than today, highs around 70. In Lewis County overnight, some patchy fog, lows right around 40, a little bit cooler in some spots, hence that frost advisory. And tomorrow, sunshine, your highs in the middle to upper 60s. St. Lawrence County overnight, patchy fog, lows around 40 tomorrow. A whole lot of sun, highs in the upper 60s to lower 70s. On Friday, mid-70s, a whole lot of sunshine. Saturday, fall begins. It'll be mainly sunny with highs around 71. Partly sunny and 69 on Sunday. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right now looking dry. Some clouds, some sun, and highs in the 60s and lows in the upper 40s. Coming up next, Mel has sports. Stay tuned.
Now your North Country Sports.
Time for your Toyota Sports Report. Soccer, the name of the game in both the Frontier League and Northern Athletic Conference. We begin on the pitch in Watertown. Boys Frontier League Soccer, Watertown hosting General Brown. Aaron Orvis with the early save here for the visiting Lions. At the other end, Devin Connell in goal for Watertown, here grabbing a loose ball. Cyclones score the first goal of the game. Parker Andy Oriole jumps on the rebound, dents the back of the net. Watertown goes on to beat General Brown 5-0. Boys NAC Soccer, matchup of undefeateds in the East Division. Colton Pierpont against Perishville Hopkinton. In the 11th minute, Avery Zanger will center to Joey Guiney, who tucks the low shot into the net, 1-0 Panthers. Off a restart, third man over the ball, Zanger fires a long-range missile under the crossbar, 2-0 PH. Guiney takes the penalty kick. Colts keeper Nate Smith saves, but Guiney crashes the net, scores on the rebound, 3-0 Panthers. Perishville Hopkinton looking for more. Zanger's shot hits the goalpost and ricochets out. Zanger again off Smith and off the crossbar for the save. Brian Griffith feeds Ray Voicing, who fires from out near midfield, slips the ball under the crossbar for the final goal. Perishville Hopkinton beats Colton Pierpont 4-0. Tonight's local scoreboard's brought to you by Coleman's Corner, located behind Fairground Inn across from Watertown Arena. Coleman's Corner offers traditional Irish fare along with gourmet sandwiches, burger, steaks, and seafood. Enjoy your favorite beverage for great food. It's Coleman's Corner. Boys High School Soccer, Watertown blanks General Brown 5-0. South Jefferson over Carthage 5-1. Beaver River Copenhagen postponed. Belleville Henderson shuts out Lafargeville 3-0. Lime a winner over South Louis 5-1. Alexandria nips Thousand Islands 1-0. St. Lawrence Central over Madrid Waddington 7-0. Perishville Hopkinton blanks Colton Pierpont 4-0. Brushton Myers defeats St. Regis Falls by that same 4-0 score. Girls high school soccer, Herman DeKalb over Hammond 9-2. Edwards Knox outlast Heuvelton 6-4. Lisbon over Harrisville 4-1. St. Lawrence Central blanks Madrid Waddington 3-0. Men's college soccer. It was Plattsburgh, a winner over Potsdam 4-0. Women's college soccer, Clarkson over Skidmore 2-0. Plattsburgh, Potsdam, a scoreless tie. High school volleyball, Messina over Chateauguay 3-1. Tupper Lake outlasts Salmon River 3-2. Indian River girls swim team is currently 2-2 on the young season. The Warriors showing improvement in the pool this year. The Indian River girls swim team has been competitive in each meet, improving on their times every event. It's a small group of swimmers, but a very coachable group and dedicated to improving their performances.
Oh yeah, I'm very happy. We have a lot of swimmers that have been on the team for 2-3 years now that are doing better. Again, every meet so far this year we've swum best times, getting a little better each time. We're competitive with everybody, so that's what I really enjoy with the girls. We have good meets, good swims, and very, very nice young ladies. I couldn't ask for a better group.
We are doing fantastic. We have a couple of young girls on our team, and they're keeping up, and everyone is going above and beyond. We have a couple of girls who just swam for the first time ever, and I'm so glad with the team. This is the best team Indian River Swimming has had in years.
Well, there's no real big secret. We're like a family. We cheer each other on, and we just push each other. No matter what, we're trying to build up success, try to do our best.
I think having such a small team is very hard, but we all work well together to work as a team, and it helps us get our events up.
I think we're just a good group, and we're getting along really well, and it's just a good bonding experience to make with people.
I think it's just staying positive, and if one starts to get down, helping each other get back up. I think that's helping us improve a lot.
The bulk of the swimmers have been in the program for a long time. That fact helps them grow over time to become more technical and bring out the best they can be.
That's part of it. If you can hang on to somebody for a few years and they can consistently come to practice and work on things, they're going to get really well, really good. And that's what's happened so far this year is all these girls are veterans. And then we've got a few, we've got some freshmen, we've got a few new ones. And we actually have an 8th grader that's doing very, very well. So all those things together are making us a better team this year.
A team that has the capability to surprise opposing teams this season. Nick Castellanos hit 2 home runs, saved the game with a brilliant throw as Philadelphia beat the Atlanta Braves 6-5 in 10 innings, handing the National League East champions their 5th loss in 6 games. The Braves rallied from a 4-run deficit and had a chance to walk off with the win in the 9th after pinch runner Luke Williams stole 2nd and 3rd. Orlando Arcia hit a fly ball down the right field line that appeared deep enough to bring home the tagging Williams, but Castellanos made the catch in foul territory, spun around, threw home in time for Garrett Stubbs to tag the runner on the right shoulder before his foot touched the plate. Marcus Semien drove in 3 runs, scored for the American League best 115th time. Jonah Heim and Mitch Garver, each back-to-back homers. Playoff-chasing Texas Rangers beat the Boston Red Sox 15-5. Rookies Josh Young and Evan Carter each added 2-run homers for the Rangers, who began the day a half game behind Houston for the American League West lead and tied with division foe Seattle for the American League's 3rd and final wild card spot. Left-hander Martin Perez struck out 5 while allowing 3 hits. Well, that's it for now. We're going to stop, pay some bills. When we come back, Zach Grady will take us into the night.
For John and Mel, thank you for joining us tonight. Mackenzie, Beth, and Aaron are back in the morning with your broadcast.